All right, it's getting there. It's preparing the live stream, setting it up. Come on, YouTube Live.
Mine says meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
Okay, hey. Then that means something's happening. And it sounds like we're in the right direction. I'm hopeful. Get this. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick up where we left off. We're not re-recording and doing all those other fun little bits. Because I think I do have the recording of that. It is record on this computer. Okay, all right. So before we so rudely interrupted by Wi-Fi outage, I mentioned specifically who our Go team will be comprised of, but we will not have a full Go team until 2025 school year. All right, as you already know, we just took roll. I am a non-voting member. Our two instructional staff members are Mr. Norwood and Ms. Ree. You each will serve a 2-year term. And our current Go team members are parents. These were individuals that were elected by the parents as Rebecca Cagle and Ryan Valduga. You also will serve 2-year terms. So this is our Go team for the school year overall. We did have a quorum present. Now we're just going to move right into, because I'm afraid that we're going to lose Wi-Fi again. Let me make sure you're still there. Yes, you're there. So we're going to go move into filling the community member seat. This person will serve on the Go team for a full 2-year term. I would like to nominate Melissa Clark to fill the open community member seat. Does anyone have any comments or discussion about this nominee? And before we even go that route, just wanted to let you know, I asked Melissa to do this because Melissa is very knowledgeable of the Virginia-Highland community, the neighborhood, the Midtown cluster, as well as a parent here at of a rising second grader at Virginia-Highland. She also has a middle schooler and a high schooler. So she is connected to K-12. And I'm really excited to nominate her. She served as our PTO president as well, and she's just been a lovely person to work with. Yeah, and I could not say enough good things about Melissa. Melissa, is there anything that you would like to add or say?
I think you just said everything, but yeah, I have a rising second grader at VHE and middle school and high school daughters as well, and I'm really excited to hopefully jump on to Go team with you guys. So.
Well, so Go team members, does anyone have any comments or discussion about Melissa as our nominee? Thank you for that feedback. So we will now proceed to vote on the nomination of Melissa Clark for the community member seat. This is a public vote. All in favor of adding Melissa as our community member seat, please say aye or raise your hand. And Ms. Cagle, if you would record those votes and report out for me.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, well, it has passed.
Perfect. So I'm assuming unanimously, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. So there are no all opposed or any abstentions. So we are good to go. So Melissa, with the power vested in me, you are now a member of the Go team. So I'm so glad that you've joined us. And thanks for being willing to do this too, Melissa. We really do appreciate you. All right, we're going to move right on with what's next, Harness. Oh, just to put it out there to make sure everyone knows, in 2025, we will fill the remaining seats. We will refill one more community member, one parent, one staff, and then the one swing seat for a total of 9 Go team members in 2025. Okay, so now we're going to move into the election of Go team officers. Now, as I go through this, there's a lot. So please stop me and ask any questions that you might have, because I do want to make sure that we're all very, very clear on what this means in these roles. So now I'm going to move into the electing Go team officers. Before we begin nominations, I'd like to remind the Go team of the following. Nominations do not have to be seconded. Okay. A member may nominate himself. A member may nominate more than one person for any position. A member may decline a nomination during the nomination process. Members may not serve more than 2 consecutive terms, meaning 2 years in the same office or position at the same school. Nominees do not have to leave the room during nomination period or when a vote is taken. If there is more than one nominee per elected office, each nominee will be offered an opportunity to share why they should be elected to the seat. The newly elected officers will assume their position starting at the conclusion of this meeting, and they will serve for 1 year or until a new officer is elected. All voting members have only 1 vote per seat. All right. So first, we are going to go with our Go Team chair. All right. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the chair include, but they are not limited to, leading Go Team meetings, working with myself and the Go Team to develop meeting agendas, ensuring that every Go Team member has an opportunity to be heard, and then monitoring team compliance. At this moment, I will now open the floor to receive chair nominations. Don't all jump at that at once. Feel free to nominate yourself or someone else. If they're looking at you or you think they're looking at you in your little square, I'd say no.
Rebecca, are you interested in being the chair?
Yeah, I'll do it.
She's accepting the nomination. Are there any other individuals that would like to nominate someone as chair? All right. Would any of the nominees like to decline the nomination? You're still in it, Rebecca?
Only as long as we can stick to 6 meetings.
Okay, we'll talk about that. All right, let's see. If there are no further nominations, I'm going to close the floor. We will begin the confirmation process. We have 1 person being considered for the chair seat. The nomination for chair is Rebecca Cable. At this time, I'll offer Rebecca an opportunity to explain why she is the best candidate for the position. Other Go Team members may ask the nominees questions before voting. Rebecca, why would you like to do this?
I'm really excited about the opportunity to sort of start this off for our school with a great foundation for the future. And you all seem like lovely, committed, dedicated people to work with. And so if I can bring some skills to bear in this way, it would be really inspiring for me.
Awesome. Well, I'll say this, Rebecca, you were one of the only parents at the beginning of the school year that said, hey, I want to be on Go Team. What does that mean and how do I do it? I think you were the first person that that said that to me, and I was like, oh, so I'd written your name down, and we were gonna make it happen one way or another. I'm so glad that you were elected. I think you would be excellent in this position. So, anyone else? Any other comments regarding the nominee? All right. Well, then, with the power vested in me, congratulations, Rebecca Cagle. You will serve as the Go Team chair for the VHE for this school year. So congrats, excited about that for you. Now, the fun doesn't end with Rebecca being the chair. We also have to nominate a vice chair. So, as a reminder, the responsibilities of the vice chair include, but are not limited to, ensuring the Go Team follows parliamentary procedure, working with the principal and the chair to develop meeting agendas, and acting as chair if the chair is not present. So I'm going to open up the floor to receive vice chair nominations. And Ms. Cable, you're still, Rebecca, you're still interim secretary for this, so you're going to record any nominations. All right, open it up. Any vice chair nominations? Don't all jump. Don't all jump at the opportunity. It's such a fulfilling role.
Ryan Valduga, are you interested in vice chair?
The thought just occurred to me that I could end up as secretary if I don't do this. So vice chair sounds pretty good.
Are there any other nominations that we would like to entertain? All right. Kate's mom, would you like to decline that nomination?
No, I'm happy to accept.
Awesome. All right. So if there are no further nominations, I will close the floor. We'll begin the confirmation process. We have one person being considered for the vice chair seat. The nomination for vice chair is Ryan Valduga. At this time, if you would like to share anything, Ryan, with us regarding your why you would be a great vice chair, this is the time to do so.
No, I'm excited to learn more about the Go team, and I think this is an awesome group, so excited.
Love. All right. So do we have any other Go team members who would like to ask Mrs. Valduga any questions before voting? All good. All right. So please raise your hand, or you can say aye, to vote for your choice for vice chair of Go team. If you'd like to vote right now for Ryan Valduga to be our vice chair, go ahead and raise your hands and let's see. It looks like you are an unanimous vice chair candidate, Ryan. So congratulations. I wish there were prizes to give, but there's not, other than your time. Yay, thank you. All right, so there were no abstentions. Awesome. So congrats, Ryan. Now we will elect the Go team's secretary. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the secretary include, but are not limited to, posting Go team documents, agendas, summaries, and minutes to the website at the school, for the school, taking minutes at Go team meetings, ensuring the Go team is in compliance with Georgia open meeting laws. I will say there is a lot that can be involved with the secretary. In the past, I've always helped the secretary as well to take minutes to post to our website, because this is a little more than, as Rebecca put it, as the vice chair might do. The secretary definitely has a lot of different responsibilities, but I will be helping that individual do this. So I don't want you to think it's all on any one person, I promise. But so at this point, I'm gonna now open the floor to receive any secretary nominations.
I think this would be a great experience for Mr. Norwood. Are you still there, Mr. Norwood?
He's pretending to be frozen. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like this. All right, any other nominees?
I'm nominating Young Ree.
Oh, perfect. All right, so yes, I think that is a wonderful nomination, Mr. Norwood. Would either of the nominees like to decline the nomination?
I'd like to decline the nomination.
I would like to decline the nomination only because of everything else that I have already committed to this school year, with school-wide and just also with grad school as well. I don't want to feel like I'm stretching myself too thin and having to give a shorter end of a stick anywhere. So that would be my only reason for declining the nomination to be secretary.
Totally makes sense. So for those who don't know, Mr. Norwood is going to be leading with Ms. Knupp our new teacher orientations for any new teacher and to VHE, and he's also going to develop with another teacher instructional paraprofessional development, where we're going to teach them some strategies that they can use to best support teachers throughout the school year. And that's going to be that's something very new, but I think something that we could capitalize on. And he was gracious enough to take that on for us. And I know you're going to do a great job, and our parents are going to be lucky to have you. So completely understand. And Ree, listen, I get it too. We can all decline, and you've got a lot of stuff going on. If y'all don't know, Ree is our one of our STEAM instructional coaches. She does a lot of things within the school behind the scenes. So she is involved with some big ticket items, some big things throughout the year. So completely understand. Are there any other individuals left on this call that would like to be we could nominate?
Can we nominate Melissa, or is she not officially a member till the end of this meeting?
I think you can nominate Melissa.
So my question is, are we about to nominate the cat seat as well? Because that's what I was.
Hoping for. We will go. That will be the next part. Yes. Now, as it relates to that role, it could be any member of our Go team, in addition to the principal. So, and that one is easier to manage and navigate because of its additional meetings, but it's not a lot. Just putting that out there. But I hear you, Melissa.
Yeah, that was what I was interested in. But if I need to jump into secretary, I can do that.
Oh, I heard you. Just accept the nomination, so I appreciate that greatly. All right, before we give Melissa time to change her mind, and if there are no further nominations, I'm going to let's see. She's not going to decline. We'll begin people being considered. All right, so we have one person being considered for the secretary seat. The nomination of secretary is Melissa Clark. At this time, I'll offer secretary nominee an opportunity to explain why they are best candidate for the position. And Melissa, I think your candidacy is all about whatever we need to have happen. You will gladly serve in that capacity. So I think I just answered it for you. But other Go team members may ask the nominee questions before voting. Any questions for Melissa?
If she's the secretary, does that mean she cannot be the cat chair, or can she be both?
She could be both.
Okay.
I'm happy to help too, along
Yeah, some of
throughout the
these
year. Yeah.
seem somewhat discreet, like, so we could maybe have one person take on one of the, like, informally. I don't know if that's legal, but even if you're the secretary of record.
Yeah, that's great. Young, I'll take any help.
And Melissa, I promise you, I can do this.
Yeah, no, it's more just y'all's patience with me on that. That's not my number one skill set. So.
Oh, trust me, it's not mine either, but I can help you and we can do it together. I know we can.
Perfect.
But okay. All right, so let's go ahead and see. We're gonna go ahead and take this opportunity to vote for Melissa. All of those who are voting for Melissa, if you will please raise your hand, and Rebecca, if you will record that vote. And I should have raised my hand for each one, even though I'm a non-voting member, Rebecca, just saying. But I do believe that. Okay, so no abstentions. All right, then without further ado, congratulations, Melissa Clark. You will serve as our Go team secretary for the school years. Thank you, Melissa. Really, I appreciate you doing that. But I promise I'll help you. All right. Okay, so now we are going to nominate the Go team's cluster representative. The cluster representative, we've already kind of talked about a little bit or alluded to it. As a reminder, the responsibilities of that individual include, but are not limited to, attending cluster advisory team meetings. We refer to those in our cluster as CAT meetings, cluster advisory team. There's approximately 3 a year. That individual will also have to report back to the Go team on what was discussed at the CAT meetings. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor to receive cluster representatives for nominations. Would anyone want to nominate someone?
I nominate Melissa.
Okay. Any other nominees? All right. Well, Melissa, would you like to decline that nomination?
No, I don't.
Perfect. If there are no further, I'm going to close the floor. We'll begin the confirmation process. We have one person who is being considered for the cluster rep for VHE. The nomination for cluster rep is Melissa Clark. At this time, I want to offer you an opportunity just to speak, Melissa, as to why you wanted to be a part of CAT.
I think that I was interested in CAT just because I stay very plugged in our cluster and try and be really aware of what's going on at all the levels of our schools. So I felt like that was a good fit for me personally.
I will also say Melissa is so well connected. She has heard it all. So she's always a great person to kind of go to and just say, hey, so what's the word on the street? She is that one. So I appreciate you, Melissa, because I've definitely gotten some things clarified through you and the street committee. But all right, well then we're gonna go ahead and vote for our cluster rep. Raise your hand if you are in agreement or would like to vote for Melissa Clark as CAT representative. Ms. Reed? All right, looks like it is unanimous. Congratulations, Melissa. Super excited and happy for you and happy for us. So you will serve as our go-team cluster rep for the school year. All right. Hey, we're doing pretty good. It's going faster than PTO. We're gonna get it. All right, let's see. All right. Public comment protocol. So now we're going to move into the section of reviewing and approving public comment protocol. So in reviewing and updating or discussing or confirming our go-team's public protocol, I want you just to be reminded that public comment opportunities are available for go-teams to hear from interested members of the community, all right? From section 3.4 of the go-team handbook. Opportunities for public comment shall be provided at least 4 times in a school fiscal year, and noted on the Go Team's webpage and meeting agenda. Go Team members will not provide responses or engage in direct conversation during public comment. All right. And that is something I do think that we need to do our best to 100% adhere to as we're moving forward to keep things moving. And it just gives us time to reflect on our own in terms of some of the things that might be brought to us. Each Go Team will determine a consistent method for receiving public comments and for parents and other citizens to sign up to address the team. At least 20 minutes of time has to be allotted for the public to make comments at meetings where public comment is permitted. The public will receive at least 2 business days notice of public comment protocol. All right. Let's make sure. Let's see where I've got. All right, so I want to share really quickly what what I believe our comment protocol should be, and this is taken from a combination of Springdale Park and Morningside. But I felt that it was something that if we had available, that we could make a more informed decision on what our protocol should be. So, all right, so. Looking right here, starting at the VHE Go Team. I'm just going to read this to you guys. And again, this is just proposed from my point of view. You guys tell me what you think. VHE Go Team hereby provides notice of its public protocol to the Virginia-Highland elementary community. The Go Team welcomes and encourages citizens to in its meeting and to become better acquainted with the programs of VHE and the role of the Go Team. Unless otherwise provided by law, the Go Team meetings are open to the public. That is a part of the reason why we're live streaming. And for any individual that would like to be a part of public comment, I can always send them the Zoom link so they can be attached to our Zoom so they can ask that question while still being live streamed. So I just want you to be aware of that. Citizens are welcome to attend the meetings, but they must refrain from interrupting or distracting the Go Team proceeding. For those individuals wishing to provide comment, designated time periods for public comment are identified on the agenda. Public comment is planned as an official agenda for 4 out of the 6 official meetings for VHE. Refer to each published agenda to confirm the time period. Public comment opportunities are contingent upon all agenda items being discussed first, but it is our goal to schedule public comment time as close to the last 20 minutes of the scheduled 1-hour meeting as possible. A sign-up sheet will be available, and I can add that to, we can figure that out if we want to do that. Will be available, where did it go? At the door, or I'll post the link in the Zoom or on our website. And must be used by any person who wishes to speak during the public comment period. In the event of a virtual meeting, sign up for public comments will be allowed in the virtual meeting chat. Each member of the public will have 2 total minutes to speak. At the close of the 2-minute period, the speaker will be asked to take their seat so that others identified on the sign-in sheet can be provided with an opportunity to speak. The public comment period is designed to gain input from the public. It is not for immediate responses by Go Team to the public comment presented. At the end of each public comment period, the period will be closed and the Go Team will move on to the next agenda item. If there are questions or information that you have for the Go Team, you may also contact one or more of the Go Team members before and or after any meetings. This is what I am proposing. This is, again, a combination of Morningside and Springdale Park. Fine. Any recommendations or updates or changes?
I
No?
have I have two thoughts.
Okay.
First off, thank you for doing this. I think it's great. I love the content. One is maybe I wonder if there's a different word besides citizen we could use, just because I think there's probably, like, I don't know if we'd say community members. I'm imagining there are people that would fit into this that are maybe not citizens of the US at least. So that small, like, kind of language suggestion. And I just wonder on the website if there's a way to separate out. There's like a lot of helpful process points at the end, starting with like
You want me to bullet it out?
Yeah, like maybe there's a second section for process, like for what to expect. So it's easier for people to locate it. Is there a reason we would have last 20 minutes instead of the first? So I'm just thinking people are going to sit on there for a long time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think more than likely, public comment comes about as a result of what is going to be discussed during the meeting.
Oh, I see. Right.
So,
there's space to
so
react.
when people look at the agenda, they'll see an item like, for example, we'll probably have a number of people that will join us for the budget meeting, and they're usually very interested in that piece. But then that would give them that opportunity to address it during that 20 minutes.
That makes a lot of sense. Thanks.
All right. Any other recommendations for our public comment protocol? But I do like your recommendation, Rebecca. I will change it to community member from citizens, and I'll bullet out the other some of the things so it can maybe just a little more digestible. Any other recommendations or comments? All right. Well, then may I have a motion to adopt this public comment protocol?
I'll move to adopt.
All right, a second?
I
Second.
second that motion.
Perfect. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, any opposed? All right, that passes unanimously. Thank you all so much. I will make sure that that is updated before I leave today. All right, now we're going to take a look at our Go Team meeting calendar. All right, so it's going to be a lot. We don't have to do all these, but I have a tendency to be extra. So just check me, I'm good with it. So meetings at a glance, I just wanted to give you an idea of what kinds of things we could discuss throughout the entire school year. And since this is our first year, this is kind of how I broke it out in terms of what I would want support and feedback from you all regarding our planning. So with our first meeting, more than likely, we will discuss our strategic plan. We'll take a look at performance indicators. I'll probably share milestones results in its entirety. Hopefully we'll have the math milestones results at that point. We have something that we refer to as a continuous improvement plan, like what are the areas within our school that are more specific and how we want to address and support those specific areas, whether it's subgroups of students, et cetera. And then in September, we also find out whether or not we meet our projected enrollment. So we were projected to have 559 students for this school year. Right now, we're sitting at like 591. So we're definitely over what we were projected. And because of that, it will impact us, meaning we should receive additional funds for each additional student above that projected number. And those funds could potentially purchase another teacher position to bring down class sizes. All right. So that's what I mean by leveling impacts. On the flip side of that, if we did not meet our projection, let's say we only had 530 kids when we were projected at 559, it could be a negative impact where we would have to lose a teaching position because our projection did not substantiate it, right? So that's what I mean by leveling impacts, just to give you that heads up. In October, we would take a deeper dive into our continuous improvement plan, start addressing and looking specifically at our needs assessment and our goals. I would gather input from you all and community members as to what we would like to also consider as we are working within a continuous improvement plan. But all of these things are leading into what we have to develop as a Go team starting in November, which would be our strategic plan overall. So I'm using two different terms: SIP, continuous improvement plan, strategic plan. They are very, very similar, but the SIP itself is specific for that school year. The strategic plan is over the course of a number of years, 3 to 5 years. So we will begin developing that for long-term planning and goals overall. In December, we'll start looking at to finalize different aspects or portions of our strategic plan and then ranking what our strategic priorities would be. Those strategic priorities, they feed into January, where I would want to make decisions with our budget that align with those strategic priorities. So in January is when we get our actual general budget, where we have some interesting conversations about what we need to do to support our school and to do everything that we can to make sure that our kids are successful. In February, it's a continuation of the budget allocation meeting. Probably in January, we'll get the initial budget. I may not have lots of time to kind of go through and really think through all the details of that budget, but I will give you an overview in January. In February, I'll give you the specifics of how we could use the funds. And then in March, you will vote to approve that budget or not to approve that budget. And that would be for anything and everything we discussed. I am a firm believer and advocate that you all are representatives of, from a staff perspective, you were elected to do this. So you have people, you have teachers that want to hear from you and that you want to hear from them so you can make informed decisions on whether or not you agree with whatever we propose or if you disagree on whatever we propose. So you want to make sure that you are the voice of your constituents. And then the same thing for the parents. We have our community is incredible and they are not shy in sharing their opinions, which is great because I do believe that makes a stronger overall. But I most certainly want to give the community those opportunities through you all to advocate on behalf of what the community as a whole feels. The point and purpose of a Go team is to look at our community holistically, right? And not just what we personally want, but what we think makes the most sense for all students, all community, all walks of life. So that's what we would do in January, February, March as it relates to the budget. April and May that's probably when we're going to start, I guess, maybe looking into the additional officers for the Go team. We'll close out the year. You guys will do self-assessments on the Go team. You'll even provide feedback on to the district about me and how I worked with you all. Yes, that's 8 meetings, and Rebecca, I know you mentioned 6. But these are just things that I know we can marry some of these meetings as well. So I don't want you to think that we have to do 8. I just wanted to put it all out there in terms of how my mind works and the time frame for what I would propose. So my proposed dates and times are these. Again, these are proposed, and we can say yay, nay, or and change the time, change the date, whatever. I would love to be able to have our Go team meetings on the same day as our PTO meetings. that I don't know that that's going to work, but and yes, I am going to be doing that to myself. But the reason why is in working this past year with our PTO was the community ears that I was getting feedback from, and because we didn't have a Go team, and I want to be able to still use the PTO to get, a little bit more information from, families throughout the school, regardless of them being in Virginia-Highland or in the Midtown neighborhood or Ansley Park or Sherwood Forest. But I'd love to be able to try to do those things on the same day. The main reason is because PTO does get information that I will share with Go Team, and it would be easier from a community perspective if you both are getting that information on the same day rather than one entity getting it beforehand and the Go team doesn't know, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So that's a part of the reason why I want to do that. I would like go-to meetings to be on these dates. This is our first one. So we're good. We technically only have to have 5. No, I think it is 6 more, including the organizational. Anyway, we can have maybe 5, 6 more overall. August 21st, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the day right before back to school night. I would like to have the meetings. We can have them virtually. We can meet in the auditorium. We can do whatever makes the most sense for any of us, but we'll definitely publish that so the public knows how they can participate from 6 to 7 o'clock. I am suggesting 6 to 7 because by that time, most of the Go team are at home and not at work, and you're not, being impacted in that way. But I also just want to make sure that our community is able to attend at a time that makes sense for them as well. So I'm suggesting 6 to 7. October 9th, November 20th. I believe if there is a date that we could remove, I think we could probably do November, and we probably could do a lot in October, or move it to November and scratch the October in preparation for the budget meeting in January. So October and November here, we could pick one of them out, however you guys would like to do it. I would like to have that January 15th meeting. I definitely want a meeting in February, March 5th, towards the beginning of March, because we have to have our budget approved. And then I would say let's skip the month of April because there's spring break and we start with milestones. But then right in the middle of May, we would be able to reconvene to close out the year. So, all right. So let me go back to my script here. All right. So as a reminder, our Go team is required to have at least 6 business meetings this year. 4 of the meetings have to be for public comment. Meetings cannot be held during the instructional school day. Meetings must be live streamed and recorded. Meeting locations for hybrid meetings must be in places which can accommodate the public. Do I have any suggestions or recommendations for meeting dates and times, or any comments related to just some of the proposed things that I've got up here?
Hang on. Can we check that February 19th? Is that during the break? I feel like that might be during the break.
Oh, is it? I will look.
The reason I even thought of it because Trevor just made our kids' dentist appointment.
It
for
is
that
during the
Monday.
break. The break is the 17th through the 21st. So it
Oh,
is
well
during the
then,
break.
so I'm just going to be honest, that date's not going to work for me. So we need a new date, maybe the week before. Well, that is probably, I gotta look at a calendar, guys. Sorry. You guys tell me, what are you thinking for February?
Well, I'd probably go back a week rather than going forward just because of March 5th being so soon after if we went later.
All right, let's see. So I'm gonna have to pull up my calendar. So
Yeah,
I'm just
okay.
looking at our school master calendar. Also trying to tell my mother to stop texting me for a moment. And I have my nephew called me just a moment ago too.
Maybe like
So-
the 12th. That would be the Wednesday before. I don't know how that fits with the PTO or calendar at all.
I think the 12th would be fine. I think right now we have the small tall ball scheduled for the 13th, which would be the next day. What do you guys think about the 12th? Is that too much happening in one week? Would that work for everyone?
I think so, because otherwise it would be the 26th, and like you were saying, it's kind of close to the March date. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's like the next one. Yeah.
All right. 12th works for me. So I'm just going to put this there as the 12th. But let's go back up. August 21st, is that meeting date and time okay for everyone? Looks like it works. All right.
Yeah.
October 9th. I think that is the week prior to the fall break in October. Good with that?
Yes,
all right.
it is the week before.
Yes.
Mr. Norwood, I'm sorry.
I was saying, yes, it is the week before.
Okay. All right, so October 9th. Would you rather have the October meeting or a November meeting, or would you like to have both?
Well, since we have nothing in September, and then I think we need the October meeting for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we
That makes
want
sense to me.
to, how can we tentatively keep November 20th, and we can kind of better determine where we are in October as to whether or not that date would be necessary? Is that okay?
Yes.
Sounds great.
And even
right,
if we
so I'm gonna-
do question, if we do have the, like you put tentative,
Mhm.
if we decide that we don't need or we don't need to meet for a whole hour, that's still okay. Like if we just did like a quick
Yeah.
6 to 6:30 or something around that, it doesn't have to be the full hour if we don't need it.
Okay. I think that would be more than 5. So I'm gonna put tentative. Okay, what about coming back in January 15th? Work?
Yes.
February 12th? Work? March 5th, typically we have to have our Go team vote and approve the budget that first week in March. So that one, I really do think we need to keep. Does that work? We
Yes.
would take a
Yeah.
break in, we would take a break in
April.
April, and we could come back in May, or we can try to do end of the year closeout March 15th. Because by this time you will be experts in the budget, right? You will vote on it, and the other agenda item could be to do the end of year closeout things as it relates to the Go team itself. We could do that on March 5th, or we could just do that separately on May 14th. Thoughts?
So March 5th is where we're going to be approving the budget.
Yes.
Okay. I feel like that's going to take a bit. No.
Up to you guys. Yeah, I mean, and it could depend. Yeah, I mean, it could. We don't know. You may have gathered a lot more information from your constituents, and they want you to express that. So
yeah.
Okay. Then are we good with keeping May 14th? All righty. Well, see there, you guys didn't remove a single date. See, you love meetings. That's good stuff. All right. Well, then, all right, let's see where I'm at. Are there any other suggestions or recommendations? All right. So now what we need to do is, as it relates to these dates, we now have to determine at which meeting will we allocate time for public comment. So I'm going to pull up our Go Team site real quick. Okay, so this is our organizational meeting time. I did say no for public comment because this was all about making sure we've got everything squared away. 8:21. This is, again, just proposed. Yes. Public comment. That October date as it relates to our continuous improvement plan and strategic plan, I say yes. That's what I believe, but you guys can disagree with me. I'm completely cool with it. The November time, the tentative date, I went ahead and said yes, again, because that's strategic plan related. On January, that January 15th date, since I will just be getting that budget and the majority of that conversation will be about that, I won't be able to answer tons of questions, or I'd rather the community have information, and I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to give them at that point. So I said no during that time. Any thoughts? Does that work? All right, February, we're going to change that date. I will make sure that happens. I said yes, because that will be the more into the, the nitty gritty of budget. And I would like public comment for the community. That March 5th date, again, based on our constituents, we invite everyone. I'd like for them to be able to have public comment on that date as well. And then for year-end closeout, I said no, but honestly, if we want public comment, I'm good with it. I have not a single problem with any of it. We can do public comment for everyone if you'd like. Either way, I'm fine. What do you think?
No, I like having the no for the last one.
Okay. Are you okay with the January 15th with no public comment?
Yes. Do you typically get a lot of people requesting to join and comment?
Well, admittedly, the answer is yes, we will have a number of people that will join. And they will want to comment. Now, historically at Spark, we allowed them to speak, right? And we would ask them follow-up questions, which we're not necessarily supposed to do. But when you're in a community like ours, I believe, and we know each other very well, sometimes it behooves us to have those conversations if we can in the moment and if we're agreeable to it in the moment. Um, so I just want our community to have that opportunity to speak, but I also want them to know, because I do believe this, I want to hear what it is that they have to say, but I also want to ask questions if I'm not 100% on board with what it is that they say. I
Yeah,
mean, what do you guys think about that? Good with it?
I'm good with this.
I
Yeah.
think that's fair.
Okay. Um, all right, so then it seems like we are going to keep the public comments that we must allow now that we have determined our count. May I have a motion? All right, so there's only one change that I've got noted. It's the no, what date was it? Oh, February
Yeah,
19th.
February.
We're gonna move that to February
12.
12th. All right, so now that we've determined our calendar, may I have a motion to approve the calendar?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Second.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. All right, any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. We're almost there, friends. We are so close. All right, let me get to the next one. Okay, so now we're going to determine our Go Team meeting norms. This is how we're going to conduct business each and every day. Again, this is just something I always find it easier to have something that we can look at, and if we need to add or remove, we can do that. But this is just proposed. So we'll begin reviewing the initial Go Team meeting norms. Let's see. Okay, so only members of the team may participate in the discussion, and that's just a part of the bylaws itself. That's how it's supposed to be. So that would be something we do want to make sure that we have out there, unless, and I can add if you'd like, unless a Go team member would like a follow-up question answered or something like that. What do you think, Rebecca? What do you think, Melissa? What do you think, Bree? For just that first person.
I think that
Yeah.
sets a good precedent and could get complicated if we weren't doing that.
Right.
Okay. All right, so any member of the public present are here to quietly observe. We all will be fully present as we are meeting if it's virtually. We'll follow the agenda as noticed to the public and stay on task. We're going to be respectful of each other at all times. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm always going to try and keep it super respectful because I do respect each of you for giving us your time. But I also will do everything in my power to make sure that everyone else is respectful to you as well. We don't want someone joining or coming public comment and saying disparaging things about any individual. So I want you to know that respect is the key. We will be open-minded. We invite and welcome contributions to every member and listen to each other. We're going to respect all ideas. We will assume good intentions. We'll approach differences of opinion with curiosity. I am curious. If there's a difference of opinion, I'm going to ask questions because that is my nature. We will consider the school holistically, but beyond our individual roles. Anything that you see here that we should remove or add?
This probably, it fits into like broader descriptions of the Go Team role and your bullet about following the agenda, but sometimes in my experience on boards, there can be like a fine line between governance and management. And I know our role is to sort of stay at a higher altitude. And so I'm trying to think of how to phrase that. If we wanted to, it's not a strong opinion, but if we wanted to add something, maybe something like we will focus on our role, our governing role or our governing responsibilities. I don't know. It's late. It's later in the afternoon. I could follow
I hear you.
in writing.
It's kinda
Something
like
in the spirit of that.
Yeah, similar to what we got at the bottom, we'll consider the school holistically beyond our individual opinions, but we're looking
Yeah.
at it holistically.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what I
anybody
was
have any
thinking
wording
too.
on how we might want to phrase that? I think that's a great idea, Rebecca. Just tell me with the wording on what we would like to see.
Because the whole point is to make sure that we are like there should be a goal in mind, right? And our main goal is to make sure that our school is being heard as like everyone's voice is being heard, right? And we're looking to make sure that we are doing the best for all students and all teachers. So like as you sit in a meeting, I'm thinking about norms. I'm like, what is my goal here today, right? What am I thinking about? Who am I thinking about? In that respect. Sorry, I got my kid away.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. Governing role in school-wide outcomes or something like that.
A governing role in school-wide outcomes. I like that. Okay.
And that might
I can remove
yeah,
the
that
bottom.
might be duplicative of the last one. So I feel like we kind of combined.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove this bottom one then if that's okay with y'all, because I like the way that is worded. Y'all good with that? Yeah. All right. Any other ideas or anything that we need to add or remove?
Maybe this was kind of embedded or assumed in another one, but kind of sort of making sure that we keep student and staff in the forefront of all decision making.
Can I add it to this?
Yeah,
Or maybe right under, we will keep all, say it one more time, Mr. Norwood.
keeping students and staff at the forefront of all decision making.
Okay. Now, does that come off as that we're only looking at two stakeholder groups, or should we go ahead and include community members?
Enrique, I kind of got the sense you were saying they like we don't want to say everybody because it really is about the students at the end.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I was picking up. Is that what you meant?
yeah, that's what I was kind of putting down as well as that. Not like we want to keep the community, of course, also in mind, but at the end of the day, I think it's very important that what it boils down to is the students and the staff of VHE.
I'm good with it in my soul. Yeah. I like it.
While
Any
we're all here.
other, yeah, any other comments or any additions? All right, well, let's see. So, may I have a motion to adopt these norms for our Go team? Anyone?
I'll move to adopt.
A second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
All right, I think that was unanimous. Awesome. Okay, y'all, we have made it through the script. So now let's see, at this point, as it relates to our agenda, if we would move on to discussion items. I don't really have discussion items because we did a lot of talking about what we needed to do to move forward. So I'm just going to give a few updates as it relates to the school itself. So just letting everyone know, we are 100% fully staffed at this point. Really excited about the teachers that we are bringing on board. I think they're coming with lots of great knowledge and they love kids, which is always the best part about it. But a couple of the teachers, Ms. Bosfield and Ms. Talbert, they went to other schools or other roles within the district, but then they are coming back to VHE. They wanted to be back with us. So I'm really excited about their return. We've also hired some phenomenal paraprofessionals who are working on their education, whether it's a master's or a specialist degree, and they just wanted to be in the environment of education while they're still working on that. And I'm really excited about what they're going to bring to the table. Pre-planning week is next week. Teachers come back on Thursday, technically, even though many of them have already been in the building, setting up their rooms and getting things squared away. But excited to have them back all next week. Our PTO is making sure that they are going to feel the love throughout the entire opening of our pre-planning week. Open house and sneak peek July 31st from 8 to 9. We're going to have a new parent orientation. All new parents, whether you are a kindergarten parent or a fifth grade parent that is new to us, you're welcome to join us for new parent orientation from 8 to 9, where you will learn all things about VHE with me and our new assistant principal, Ms. Laura Dosty. And then from 9 to 11, you don't have to stay for the full 2 hours, but anytime between 9 to 11, all parents, returning and new, will be able to come in, see the school, meet their teachers, get additional information. So I think that's going to be awesome. We are in the throes right now of our Readers, Our Leaders, the Science of Reading initiative. All of our teachers and our paras, administrative staff, we're all participating in ongoing professional development as it relates to the science of reading and the components thereof. And to be honest with you, I just finished all of my hours today. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, I was a little worried at one point. I was like, oh my gosh, this is 25 hours worth of stuff, but it's really good. I mean, like it's really much better than I was going to give credit. It's really good. So, and it was nice to kind of just refamiliarize ourselves with things that we knew and we know are good for all kids. But they really did a great job in the modules that we were participating in. So, by the time teachers get back next week, they will have participated in their, I want to say, fourth module. Andrika or Young, you guys correct me, but there are 10 total. So we'll be doing that throughout the entire year. We do have a bell schedule change. Even though our kids can still arrive to school at 7:15, we will still begin at 7:45, like we did this past year, like we did for the elementary and Atlanta Public Schools. The dismissal time will change. So we will begin with dismissal at 2:15. So the end of the day is 2:15. But we'll start with dismissal where we start, dismissing kids for carpool, walking, etc. So parents just know that's a 30-minute difference because we let out at 2:45 the past 3 years, but now it's going to be 2:15. So make sure that you have plans. We love your children, but you can't leave them with us for free, right? From 2:15 on. So just make plans to pick them up. That is going to start on August 1st, day one. We have our after school care program, VHAS. It's a program that is currently being used by Morningside, by Springdale Park, Jackson Elementary, Sarah Smith, and Mary Lynn is using a part of it. They're lovely, they're amazing, and they're going to be working with our kids and our parents this year, but they have accommodated the earlier dismissal time. So that will be included in that aftercare. So if you haven't registered for that, please do. Register now. But and also just always want to encourage the community to join the PTO. We are an incredibly fortunate school that we have a community that is able to provide and donate and fundraise and volunteer often, and they want to be involved in our school, and we want to continue to encourage that. But please join the PTO and donate to the PTO, because everything that the PTO fundraises is 100% for the school and the betterment of, as Mr. Norwood said, our students and our teachers. So please continue to do so. I mentioned earlier that our enrollment was 595. It is, so it's 75 if I were to remove the 20 kids from our pre-K program, 595 in total right now. I have a feeling that we're going to be over 600 for the start of the year. Our school secretary has been in trainings the last couple of days, and I kid you not, the community loves to call when she's not here. So I've been fielding lots of calls for how to register students, and there's been a ton. So I think it's gonna be over 600. We shall see. Other things, this Saturday is the Back to School Bash that is put on by APS. It's in the World Congress Center. VHE will have a booth there. All of the Midtown Cluster schools will be present. So this is an opportunity for you to come out and get free supplies, free backpacks, whatever, for anyone that needs it. You're welcome to come between 9 to 2. Any family is welcome. And there's going to be a lot of great free things. So come. And it's fun too. They do a lot of great activities for kids. It's in the World Congress Center, and it's going to be a huge event. I've already mentioned new parent orientation, open house sneak peek. Our first day of school is August 1st. I had one family that called me yesterday, and we're absolutely in shock that we start on August 1st because they're moving from New York, and they usually start after Labor Day. But yeah, it is August 1st. And then we've got PTO back to school night on 8/22. The majority of all of our elementary events, whether it's like back to school night, international night, small tall ball, or things of that nature, will happen on Thursdays because we want one day that's common and consistent. So your principal doesn't go crazy trying to figure out if it's Tuesday and if I've got an event. I know if it's Thursday, there's a greater chance that we will. And all of those events will start at 5:30. So that will be the start time for everything. 5:30 on a Thursday night. The back to school night will be that evening. And I think that's all I got. So I feel good. I mean, the summer has been super chill. It's been great because we already know all the things, right? We're past the new year opening and we've got everything squared away. It feels easier, and I'm happy about that. It feels nice to have that feeling back. It felt that way at Spark last year. It was running me ragged, but we got it together. So here we are. But are there any additional information items or anything that any member of our Go team would like to share? Don't feel obligated. You guys are doing it not. All right. Okay, well, let's move on. No announcements. Oh, I do want to give you all one reminder if you haven't already done this. All Go team members must complete both the online and the live virtual portions of the new member orientation. All right. And that's for you and for VHE to be in compliance. As our new Go team chair, Rebecca, you are going to be counting the ones who need to get it done. So and then when you can't hound them, that's what Ryan Valduga will do. Kate's mom, she'll get that squared away too. All right. Many of you have already completed one portion or maybe both, but and thank you for doing that. I really do appreciate it. It makes it easy. We're going to wrap up. Are there any questions? Anything for the good of all? Well, then look at you. You all made it through your very first Go team meeting, the very first in VHE, solidified in history now. So, all right, I'm y'all's, you're mine. So, hey, we're in it together. But again, thank you all for everything. Really do appreciate it. That's all I got. So, see ya.
Thanks for planning. That's great. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Appreciate all everyone's doing to gear up for the year.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Hey, Melissa, can I call you real quick? Uh-oh, I can't hear you.